Okay, so my day started off with a bit of a strop. I had to leave my car at a place called Bantham, which is a beautiful spot. But...
So I'm parked up at Bantham waiting for Andy, and annoyingly when I need him to be here on time he's not. And I've just had a fracas with the car park attendant, who seemed very unhappy with the fact that I was not going to park here and pay him £6.80. And he was unnecessarily obnoxious, really. And he needs to take a few lessons from the car parking attendant at Mothercombe and others who have been nothing but charming. This guy has got a problem, but it fits in with the Bantham estate, which I've taken a big dislike to. Today's walk takes us from the east side of the River Erme, on which I'm stood. I'm stood at Muxton Point. We crossed the River Erme last night. Although we were parked at Mothercombe, we came out and had a good old wade across and back again. And we're heading, it's a short walk today. We're heading from here to Bigbury-on-Sea, where a very good friend of mine and his wife are staying for a couple of nights and spending more, Tom told me, in 2 nights than they would do on 2 weeks in the Caribbean. But there you go, Berg Island Hotel, a legendary Agatha Christie place. So we finish off there. We finish off with hopefully a ferry crossing of the River Erme, because Andy's car is parked at Bantham, and we need to get across the River Erme because there's no way of wading across that one. And I can't wait to meet that miserable git of a car parking attendant again. Not. So a spectacular day yet again on the South Coast path. Andy and me now well into the very latter stages of this. We've rounded the corner of Land's End and we're stomping now through South Devon. Not a lot left to go, because those of you who followed the story will know that we did quite a bit of South Devon and Dorset in 2021. Well, it's just turned 9 AM and Andy and me have parked up near Wonwell Beach, which is just round, well, this is actually part of Wonwell Beach, just around the corner. I'm looking at the Coast Guard cottages on the other side of the River Erme. You can see the slipway there, which we walked down last night and walked out and onto the river and did our sort of crossing. So we've crossed the River Erme. Another one to cross later on, the River Avon. So we walked all of that, and this really is one of the most picturesque spots you could wish to come to. And apart from the two of us, not a soul around. Well, I'm stood at Muxton Point, which is right at the mouth of the River Erme, and this is what we crossed yesterday. And I'm looking up the river in the direction, or in the far distance, is Dartmoor. If you sailed up this river or paddleboarded up it, you'd eventually get to Modbury, which is a lovely little market town, historic market town. And this really is one of England's, Britain's most unspoilt, perhaps, estuaries. It's certainly beautiful. There are many others that would vie with that, I'm sure, but it's beautiful. Estuaries are very evocative places of adventure, places of arrival, places of departure, and always with the sea there's that feeling that some of the departures are made by people who sadly never returned. The sea is a cruel mistress, as they say, but my word, it's beautiful on a day like this. Beautiful white-sailed yacht out there, enjoying the wind, sea breezes, which you can probably hear on this voiceover. Quite low cliffs here. Things liven up because we've got a few roller coasters to go over on our way to Bigbury. Well, we're well on the way to Bigbury and Berg Island and Bantham.
Going to stop at Westcott Beach in the next half an hour or so. But so far this morning, once getting up onto the cliff top, the theme has been these bloody things: stingers and thistles. And I took some strategic avoiding action just now to get out of a very tight little sort of alleyway of thistles, and I stepped to my left and was immediately stung by a stinger on my left calf. So I'm feeling somewhat stung on this glorious May morning. So shorts are ideal for most of it, but quite a limiting factor in thistle and stinger town. I got my poles today after yesterday's shenanigans with my right knee, and so far so good. So it does, I've done a couple of descents now. It's a descent mode of walking that causes the right knee jip. Going uphill is not so bad. Bit of a vista of what we've just done. That nice descent there was gloriously, well, mostly thistle and stinger free. There were a few lurking, trying to catch your bare flesh. Walking fans, there's the Ordnance Survey map. And there is the reality. I'm obviously not on a canoe. Kayak. This is Erme Cove. Very close to Bigbury now. A few folks on this beach. Gloriously steep cliffs with structure of the rock determining the shape of the cliff. So you've got these steeply tilted Devonian metamorphic rocks, sort of slates really. A nice sheen to them, dipping ever so steeply towards me, so dipping about 80 degrees into the ground, into the beach, beneath the waves, and forming these lovely jagged headlands. Lovely spot. Got this sucker to get up. This is the third one so far. Probably one more after this. A big descent the other side into Chalabra, and up the other side to Bigbury. East. And pretty much the cliffs from here, that's called the Beacon, all the way along, up and down, Hoist Point, down into Westcombe Bay, Westcombe Beach, Erme Cove, which is slightly hidden behind this cliff now coming into view. And then we come to Chalabra, large camp there, and basically then Bigbury, which is roughly speaking where we are now. We're actually on Berg Island, having a spot of lunch.
In an area that says no picnicking.
Does it?
It did.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
From being James Dean.
So if this was ever a place for a picnic, this is it. And it says no picnic. Perhaps they probably mean by that, you know, ostentatious setups with barbecues and all that kind of nonsense.
Quite possibly.
So we're just below the summit of Berg Island. How lovely it is too. Just leaving behind Folly Hill Farm and a walk up to the top of Folly Hill, which was quite a slog through a summertime car park. And now we've got this immensely handsome view from Folly Hill down onto the River Erme, and on the far side Bantham, and our end of walk. We've got to get across the River Obs, obviously, and there should be a seasonal ferry. Let's hope it's in season. So this is yet another of these glorious river estuaries. That's the Bantham estate over there, which I've made my feelings known about previously, but there's no denying it's a lovely little spot. Well, what a fabulous day's walking, half day's walking today. So the way Andy and me have cut the mix this week is we've got we're filling in bits that were left over from Andy missing out early last March because of him having COVID. So we're just completing a stretch of walks from Plymouth through to where Greta is parked, not less than not less than half a mile away from where we are now on Cockleridge. And that will complete a link of walks. That means we walk continuously now from Minehead right the way through to the western side of the estuary, Star Cross. And then tomorrow we pick up on the eastern side of the estuary. We walk from Exmouth through to Sidmouth. A lot of mouth going on. And then that will leave us a very short walk, although quite up and down. It's quite serious climbs. On Thursday, that'll be a half-ish day walk, and we get through to from Sidmouth to Branscombe Mouth, at which point we will have done pretty much all of the southwest coast path. We'll have gone continuously from Minehead right the way through to the Isle of Portland ferry bridge. So after Thursday of this trip, all we've got left to do are 3 walks from Weymouth through to South Haven Point, Studland. And that, walking fans, that will be it. Very mixed feelings. Looking back at Berg Island and the magnificent Art Deco hotel, where very good friends of mine are staying right now. Across Bantham Sands, mouth of the River Erme, and across towards, well, that's heading towards Thurleston and the Hope Cove area. Andy and me have walked all that, and journey's end for us today is down there in the village of Bantham. What a handsome place. Bantham is handsome. So yes, very mixed feelings about completing this incredible walk. The guidebook will tell you 630 miles. Will have done far more than that. Andy and me would have done, I reckon, close to 700 in the end, with all the little add-ons involved in walking this in the way that we've done. But I think it's fair to say, certainly from my point of view, I think Andy will have his take on it, but my take is I've not done anything like this in my life. Committing to quite a big project, and doing it, and we're at the fag end of it now, and it feels like a massive personal achievement. Even though I've not quite done it, it's now within sniffing distance the end. And a passerby has just heard me prattling on about doing the coast path and how close we are to the end. So, just marvellous. You'll have a little ferry ride.
Yeah. Yes.
Is that it? Yeah. No, we go up there, surely. I could. My right knee wouldn't permit it though. One thing I forgot to do out on the walk, although it was in my mind and we talked about it, was song for the day. And we could not help but be inspired by the incredible tidal range and speed of the change of tide in the Erme estuary, both yesterday evening when we walked down to the river and today when we walked from it and on to Bigbury. So it's got to be Blondie's The Tide Is High, song for the day.